It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I'm talking with a former Buffalo Beauts player in the NWHL, Neve Van Pelt. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
Yeah, so I actually didn't know 100%. When I was in college, I was thinking I would maybe go to Europe and play over there, but with the pandemic and everything, I didn't really want to go that far away from home. So I reached out to a former teammate, Cass McPherson, who plays on Buffalo, and asked her about her experience, and she loved it. So I looked into that and started talking with the GM and was able to get signed on the team.
Can you talk about, of course, what you accomplished and what it was like playing in college for Providence?
Yeah, I absolutely loved my time at Providence. It was a lot of fun. I was lucky enough to get a lot of ice time, and by my senior year, I was on the power play, which was pretty exciting. And yeah, it was tricky, definitely balancing academics and athletics, but you kind of get used to it after a few weeks of your freshman year. And yeah, all in all, I would say the Fryer family is amazing and they'll be my friends for life.
What was it like playing, and what were some of your accomplishments in college?
Yeah, so I, as a individual, was able to, I would say one of my accomplishments was getting on the power play, as it was a goal of mine since my freshman year. And then another accomplishment was leading the league in face-off wins, which was pretty exciting because I take a lot of pride in that. And then as a team, unfortunately, we weren't able to win a Hockey East title or NCAA title, but we won the Mayor's Cup 4 years in a row while I was there. And then also we're in a tournament my junior year that we won. So that was a lot of fun.
Can you talk about, of course, that moment of putting on that college jersey for the first time and what that was like?
Yeah, it was a surreal feeling, once in a lifetime kind of thing. Just being with the team, being in the locker room, like first game jitters, and just seeing that jersey was so exciting. To put it on and step on the ice for the first time was, yeah, just a once in a lifetime kind of feeling for sure.
What was it like, of course, going from college to the PWPA?
Yeah, so I definitely felt the strength of the game go up a bit. So I found it pretty similar speed wise, but I found the girls in the NWHL were quite a bit stronger, especially being a centerman and taking faceoffs. I found faceoffs in the NWHL were a bit trickier with the strength of those players.
What was your time like playing with Toronto?
It was a lot of fun. That was the year before I went to college, actually. So um, I absolutely loved it. We had a really great team. We were all very close. We actually won the league that year and then provincials as well. So it was pretty exciting. We did really well, and yeah, all of us are really close. I'm still friends with some of them to today, so it's pretty great.
What was that moment when you got the call from Nate that you got signed and drafted?
It was a really exciting moment. As you know, like professional hockey is the biggest accomplishment you can get as a female hockey player. So to be able to accomplish that was, yeah, definitely surreal and a really exciting moment in my life.
What was the feeling like whenever you put on the powder blue jersey for the first time?
Yeah, it was great. That's actually one of my favorite colors. So that was one of the best parts about it. But yeah, just going back to how big of an accomplishment it is to play in the NWHL as a female hockey player, I think it was just an awesome feeling, really exciting, and yeah, kind of a once in a lifetime kind of feeling, just like the Providence one as well.
How did it feel whenever your name was on the back of the jersey to know, obviously, that you worked so hard in Providence and, of course, in the PWHPA to get to the NWHL for Buffalo Beauts?
Yeah, it's really exciting seeing your name on it, and just kind of makes you think like, wow, I worked really hard to get here and it's finally true. And yeah, seeing the name is pretty awesome feeling for sure.
What was a typical game day like for you?
So when I was playing in Buffalo, we actually had a different type of season because it was during the pandemic. So we were in a bubble season. So yeah, it was a bit different, but game days were really fun. We got to play in Lake Placid, which is a very historic place in the hockey world. I'm sure you've seen the Miracle. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Can you talk about, of course, that moment of playing in Lake Placid where, of course, Miracle on Ice was filmed?
Yeah, so it was really exciting. We we watched the Miracle on the way there on the bus, of course, and just being there, and that was my first time being at that rink. It was a crazy feeling just walking out and seeing the rink for the first time and the purple post that they had and the purple middle ice. It was really cool. And yeah, once in a lifetime chance for sure as well.
What were some of your accomplishments during your professional hockey career?
Um, so like I said, the season was really short. It was about a week long, so I didn't get to accomplish as much as I would have liked to, but I think just being able to be there and be in the NWHL and play for the Buffalo Beauts was an accomplishment in itself.
What was it like playing with some of your teammates like Hunter, Kersey, Taylor, Kersey, Dominique?
It was a lot of fun. All the girls really jammed well. We had a lot of fun, both on and off the ice. Just even taking the shuttles from the hotel to the rink was a lot of fun. We would always be playing different games, just learning lots about each other. So it was great.
What was your game day routine and rituals like?
Yeah, so it depended on the time of the game, but we would usually have a pregame skate in the morning if our game was at night, and then we'd go back to the hotel. I would usually like to do some yoga or stretching just to get the muscles all ready, and we would have our pregame meal, and then we'd head back to the rink and everyone has their own way of getting ready. I'd like to play soccer with some of the girls before the games. We do our off ice warm up, and I'd usually go tape my stick and then get ready and hit the ice guns blazing.
Who were some of the players that you looked up to on your own team and then other teams?
Yeah, so I would say I really looked up to Jordan. She was a great leader. She came a little later in the season, but right away she was a leader both on and off the ice. And other teams, I would say Christina Putin. I actually played college with her and looked up to her in that time. And just seeing all the accomplishments she's had in the league is pretty amazing and something I look up to.
Of course, can you talk about, of course, balancing your professional hockey life and obviously your work life and going to school?
Yeah, so it's a lot. I actually wasn't working last year just because of the pandemic and being in Buffalo, and as a Canadian, I wasn't able to do that. So it was a little bit nicer because I could focus more on working out and my hockey. But for sure in college, when it's school all the time, hockey all the time, it can be a lot for your mental health. And I think it's just important to take some time for yourself and rest, relax. I like to do yoga to do that. But yeah.
What are some of your future plans in your professional hockey career?
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm taking this year off. I'm going back to school for sports media, actually. So I'll still be around the world, but yeah, maybe go back to it next year, the year after. I don't know yet. I guess we will see.
Can you talk about, of course, how in the NWHL with the 1 year contract you are able to do that versus obviously if you were on a 2 year contract or something like that, it will be a little harder to do?
Yeah. So the 1 year contract's kind of nice because you're committing to that for a year, especially for myself, I wasn't exactly sure what I was wanting to do in my work life. So being able to sign on to that for 1 year without an obligation to have to go back the next year without knowing what I wanted to do was definitely very helpful.
Of course, while taking this year off, are you going to obviously watch games with the Buffalo Beauts and obviously go to games and cheer them on?
Yeah, for sure. So I know Twitch is great for streaming the game, so I'll definitely be watching along and cheering them on. And my school is actually in Toronto, so when they're playing against Toronto, I'll hopefully be able to go to the rink and be cheering them on there.
What advice would you give future people looking to play college hockey?
I think honestly, just work hard. Like no matter, especially in college, like I know some people start at the bottom of the lineup and don't get much ice time, but that's fine. Like my freshman year, I was lucky enough to play, but I definitely wasn't a first or second line player. So just keep working hard. Like people notice that work, and as long as you're working hard, you'll be able to make your way up. And also though, just have fun, like enjoy the moment because it flies by and you don't want to be stressed about if you're making this team or going there. Like just enjoy it because it's really once in a lifetime kind of chance.
What advice would you give college hockey players looking to transition from college hockey to professional hockey in the NWHL?
Yeah, I think similar thing, especially in the off season, work hard, like go to the gym and work on your strength because I know for me, I noticed the strength of the players a lot in the NWHL, especially being a centerman, as I said before. So yeah, definitely work on the strength training.
What advice would you give hockey players that are transitioning from obviously playing to going back to school or going into the real world?
Yeah, I think just don't take life too seriously. Like everyone's gonna make mistakes, but I think it's just important to learn from them. And then also, I just stand by this, but work hard at everything you do and just put in that extra time because when you do, good things will happen.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Just my name, Matt, Neve Van Pelt.
Thank you again, Neve Van Pelt, for your interview and best of luck in your future wherever it may hold you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Neve, for your interview and best of luck in your future.
Thank you. You as well.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.